Hello, welcome to the CSSA studios here in London. This studio is solely dedicated to the activities and affairs of our great alma mater, the Community Secondary School Lamuzi in Ahiazumbise local government of Imo State. And to all the sales that pass through Community Secondary School Lamuzi, here is a place of choice for you to tell your story and the story of our great alma mater. And for the national body, here is a medium for you to reach all the ex-students that are living in different parts of the world. We'll get the message to them whenever you are ready. So we are waiting for all of you to bring your story so that we tell the world about our great alma mater and the great students that pass through this great institution. I heard that there's going to be a Diamond Jubilee of our great alma mater. That affair is being handled by the national body that coordinates all the sales that pass through that great institution. So whenever they're ready, they will let us know. But I'm using this opportunity to put you on notice as an ex-student that this activity is going to come up very soon so that they can come around and show appreciation to your old alma mater and help in rebuilding it. Till then, we are waiting for when it will happen. Having said that, we will continue with those that their stories are ready. That is the 1978 set, fondly called the Great 78.
Great 78, Great 78, Great. Go ahead, 78.
You are great. 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 Oh yeah. Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Everything, yeah. Everything about you is great.
Welcome back. Recalled in our last episode, I took you on a journey back to the 70s. It was one of the greatest times of our lives. I remember the 70s with a lot of nostalgia, great feelings, a lot of things to talk about. It was the days of peace. It was the days of discipline. Students were determined and focused. I don't know what is happening today. I know you had a lot of fond memories going through the 70s. The 70s was one of the best times of our lives. For those of us that saw the 70s and passed through then. Recording in our last episode, I told you that we are going to show you how those boys and girls that you saw in the 70s will look like in the year 2020 and year 2021. So how will they look like today? So it is good that we show you how they look like. But before we do that, let us have another peep into the 70s. Are you ready? Come, let's go. Hello, welcome to the 70s. From now on, everything you're going to see will look black and white. Well, this is a picture of the great 78. From left to right, you see Jonathan Wagu, Chidozie Ofewu. Please, where is Chidozie Ofewu? Please tell him to show up. He is missing in action. Next is Andy Nkeneme. I will come back to Andy Nkeneme later on in this program because he is one of our great experts. Next is Emmanuel Opara alias Rajison, Jones Ibe, John Ezeji, Emmanuel Ibokwe, Bartolome Ndike, Bennett Uzechi, Emmanuel Anyang, Jude Ibe, Stephen Onyekwere, Gilbert Iwuji, Moses Oka, Cletus Ogu alias OC Clerical, Benjamin Ihaso. This is another picture of the greats. Though it is blurry, but we can recognize some familiar faces on this picture. From left to right, you see Gaius Opara, James Eke, Etelbat Aligwo. I hope all of you remember Etelbat Aligwo. Tony Wachukudak. I think this person is Stella Nwogu. I'm not sure, but that looks like Stella Nwogu. Victor Oku, the great author. Malaki Diala. Please, where is Malaki Diala? Tell him he is one of our best experts. Tell him to report into net. Next is Mr. Njoko, our mass master. Sitting next to him is Pius Anyanwu, Emma Anyanwu, Donald Chikwe, Kevin Nze, Atan Chukwu. That's Etelbat Ekbendu. Let me tell you something about this boy. We lost him in class 3. And I told you that I was going to tell you something about Andy Nkeneme later on in this program. Now listen to this. During the burial of Etelbat Ekbendu, they asked the students to say something about their late colleague. Andy Nkeneme surprisingly stepped forward. We never knew what he wanted to say. It was never rehearsed, and no one nominated him. We are all in class 3 then. So, what will the class 3 students say before this solemn occasion? Andy brought a piece of paper out and started reading a poem he composed about death and the late Etelbat Ekbendu. It was a moving speech. Even his fellow students never believed he could write so well. There and then, Andy signified his capacity to rise to great occasions, deliver when required, and not shy of responsibilities. No wonder today, Andy is carrying the burdensome load of being the coordinator of the Grade 78. Andy, you are one of our best experts. I greet you. Next is Charles Njoko, Anselm Njoko, Christopher Zurike, great man, Elias Unclean, Mr. Paul, Samuel Anyamele. I think this picture was when we were in class 2 or something like that. These are great people. Most of them have become very successful. We'll come to that later. This is another picture of the grade 78 class. I have said something about some of the familiar faces you see here, but let me pick out a few that I have not spoken about. Johnson Obinna. He was one of our great experts, academically sound and tough. He does not hide it anyway. He was fond of calculations, and during prep you will always see him with fat books, especially maths, physics, biology, chemistry, and advanced. He carries all of them. He doesn't hide it. And he's good at them. He speaks good English as well. He was a grammarian, fond of these big vocabularies that meant to remind you that he was an academic juggernaut. Please, where is Johnson Obinna now? Tell him to report into net. He was one of our great experts. I greet you, Johnson Obinna. Next is my sister, Nancy Kendrim. Disciplined, soft-spoken, and a very hard-working student. I don't know where she is now. Please tell her to report into net. Florence Iwuji had not to crack academically. He was very competitive, was never intimidated by the boys. I hail you, great sport. Next is my sister, Perpetua Onyekwere. Perpetua Onyekwere was one of our best sports. I greet you, grade 78. Wow, this is another picture of the grades. This was the 1976 Inter-House Sports Competition March Past. You remember Inter-House Sports of those days starts with a March Past. All the athletes representing the various houses will come out in their best attire and march past the special guest of honor. You must be in your best attire. What you are seeing was the best we had. A singlet, shorts, no stockings, no shoes, just barefooted. What we never had in shoes or stockings, we had in determination, energy, discipline, and conviction. These athletes you are watching here are ready to run the 100 meters, the 500 meters, long jump, throw javelin, high jump, play football, all barefooted. They are all determined, despite all the deprivations, to win laurels for their individual houses. If you look behind, you will also see our girls. They were not wearing shoes or stockings, but look at their faces, full of determination, energy, poise, and conviction. Our children will be amused by the pictures like this because they never believed this could happen. This is to show them what we went through to give them the luxury they are enjoying today. This would let them know where we were coming from. It is also a source of motivation for the young generation that if we could achieve all we did with the glaring deprivations, they have no excuses not to do better than their parents. We fought these deprivations with discipline, determination, and obedience. These are the main ingredients of success for any generation. Any generation that lacks discipline, determination, obedience, and focus will achieve nothing. We had all this in abundance. I am proud to belong to this generation. The 70s was one of the best times of our lives. Well, if you look at the picture very well, you will see that the Great 78s were there to participate and win laurels for their respective houses. If you look well, you will see Edmond Homer, Malaki Diala, Athanasius Chukwu, Johnson Obinna. I salute you all. You people are great. Welcome back. So how was it? Having a peep into the 70s is something very great. It evokes a lot of feelings for those of us that lived in the 70s and schooled in the 70s. It was something very, very important that we look back. It evokes a lot of nostalgia. So, having said all that, one thing unique about the Great 78 is that they kept in touch with each other. Immediately after school, some of them visited each other. In those days, we ride bicycles to our friends and chat and all that. But with the search for greener pastures, many of them left Nigeria to different parts of the world in search of these great opportunities. And I'm happy most of them are doing well today in different parts of the world. But communication became a problem. We can no longer visit each other because of distances and all that. With the coming of the email and the mobile phone, communication became easier. These sets still kept in touch with each other. The email made it easier for instant writing of letters, and it gets to any part of the world. They kept in touch. The mobile phone was very, very helpful because anywhere you are, you can reach anybody with your mobile phone. Sometimes it used to be very costly in those days. With the coming of WhatsApp, it was easy to reach anybody in any part of the world. You have instant chats. People read whatever you have written instantly. There was this video call. You can see people in distant lands. There is voice message as well. So it is easy now to reach each other anywhere they are. So they created the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group was like a classroom in the 70s. People came in with their messages, lots of stories, old pictures, old stories, current pictures, and the story started. The nostalgia was on again. There was the urge to see each other, and the bond of friendship was strengthened by this instant technology. So they started talking to each other as if they were in the classroom. People bring in messages, all sorts of stories. It was the classroom of the 70s. Only that people were not seeing each other. So the urge to see each other now was there again. And that's how close this set is. They want to see each other, despite distances. So, how would they do it? How would they want to do it? They decided that they must have to come back. It was one of the greatest migrations in the history of the state. The Jews and the Israelis called their own migration the Exodus. The Great 78 called their own migration, you know what they called it? The Great Reunion. They came from all over the world, from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, United States, United Kingdom, different parts of Africa, and different parts of Nigeria, to celebrate the bond of friendship and strengthen it once again. Can you imagine that because of friendship, because of the nostalgia of the 70s, people traveled thousands of kilometers to congregate again in one of the greatest migrations in the history of the alma mater, and they call it the Great Reunion. So how would they look like today? You want to know? So for those of you that missed the Great Reunion, happy viewing.
Reunion! 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 The 1978 set of Community Secondary School and Music reunites after 41 years of leaving school. The then boys and girls, now fathers, mothers, and grannies have organized a great reunion of the set. Therefore, all 1978 set of Community Secondary School and Music Ayazumbi set are hereby invited to this inaugural reunion on the 1st of January 2020. Host, Mrs. Chinyere Osondamade. Venue, Chinyere Osondo's Family House, Lute, Ayara Ayazumbi set, opposite Ayazu Secondary School. Time, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Original plus that Sengalo, inclusive. Signed by the coordinator, Mr. Andy Ngemneme, and announced by Mrs. Chinyere Osondamade. Don't miss this memorable event. Obi and Ada are no longer children.
You want to pop up it? Call me. You want to get your kid? Call me.
Wow, you can see the great transformation. Let me introduce them. From left to right, you see Chinyere Osondo, Christiana Onyewenyi, Jones Ibe, Ngozi Nwachukwu, Elizabeth Anyanwụ, John Ezeji, Emma Anyanwụ, Patrick Ekezie, fondly called Pakezie. He was a very great footballer. Benjamin Iheaso, Perpetua Onyekwere, Declan Onalako. He was a football captain. He was a terror to the opposing attackers. He was a defender. So opposing attackers branded him enemy. So from there on, we call him enemy. I greet you, great export. Next is Leo Anyanwụ, the man in full regalia. Jalat Wanna, Joy Onukufo, Cletus Nwogu, Godwin Anowuru, Moses Oka, Everest Onyananam, John Ezeji, Stephen Onyekwere, Victor Oku, Justin Abakuru alias Wowo, very intimidating guy, Zephrenius Njoko, Tobias Abebu, great footballer, Emma Anyanwu, Sabinus Ike, Peter Olibo. If you look at this picture, you will see great transformation. Well, let me just show you their pictures in the 70s and what they look like now. Welcome back. So, how was it? Fantastic, isn't it? You could see those boys of the 70s have become men today. Those young girls have become women today. It was indeed an exciting meeting, very fantastic. In the next episode, you are going to see the second reunion, and it was indeed one of the greatest gatherings of this 78th state, and a lot of things happened there. Some of you missed it because of the COVID, but we are going to give you opportunity to see what happened in the second reunion. Thank you for watching, and God bless our alma mater.
You are great. 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 Oh yeah. Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Everything.